Hi everyone, this is Katrina with some nuts and bolts reminders for the 1920 school year. First of all, I wanted to remind you of our CASEL priorities. We are continuing our work with positive school culture, and we have a very strategic PBIS rollout with our incentives, our matrix, and our school-wide expectations. We're also continuing to focus on data and collaboration. We really want to look at how we're going to teach lessons. Last year was about what we're teaching. Now we're looking at the how and also how to differentiate with our small groups and planning that during collaboration. And then finally, our instructional infrastructure, which is about improving the core. We would like to work on improving math through inquiry, discourse, and questioning. And of course, we'll continue our focus on STEAM integration in all areas and really connecting those priorities into the STEAM so everything's aligned. Some changes, note that our bell schedules have changed quite a bit. Our lunches are shorter, our start time is earlier, and we have a 90-minute early out on Wednesdays. Please over-communicate that to parents. Contract hours are as follows: classroom teachers 7:20 to 2:50, specialist teachers 7:45 to 3:20. Wednesdays will be used for professional development and extended staff meetings. Expect an extended staff meeting once per month, and those do run till 3:20, so we can't have appointments during those times. I'm really trying to avoid having multiple sub days this year, and using those Wednesdays will allow us to do that. And then we have some changes to our building. The door by the ramp will be alarmed, so please do not use that anymore when you enter or exit the campus. Use the front doors in the office. We'll also have a buzzer for the doors going into the building, so make sure you have your key or a badge so that you can open it. It would be a lot for Destiny to have to buzz everybody in. Some general expectations. Make sure that you are following the protocols for supervision. We have some changes to our morning protocol and our lunch protocol because we're doing reverse lunch. So be patient as we work through those. Make sure you are at your morning duty by 7:20. And if you do not have duty, please be at your line by 7:42. That's when the bell rings, and when you're there waiting for your students, their behavior is much better. Make sure for recess you're walking your students all the way to the line and you are at the front of the line with them, passing them off to the yard aide. During dismissal, please remember, walk students all the way out. It gets a little crazy at dismissal, so make sure we're maintaining our expectations all the way to the end of the day. With our new reverse lunch, we will have you drop your students off at their classroom lines, and then you will pick them up at the NPR. So please make sure you're on time, because that's a very tight schedule, having so many students come in and out, and we're not sure how it's going to work having everybody pick up from the NPR. So please work with us and make sure you're there right on time, if not just a tad bit early. And then just remember, in general, lead by example with professionalism. Think about the impact your clothing, cell phone use, language, etc. makes on the students. Please make sure you're distributing hall passes and badges to any student before they leave class. We're going to really reinforce students cannot be out on campus unless there's an emergency without a pass, since we have quite a few that tend to wander. So please help us reinforce that. If you see a student out and about, make sure you ask them for the pass. We really want to change our culture of our students moving all over the place without a pass. Please make sure with your substitutes you put them in the system as soon as possible. Be clear with your sub plans. Subs have to stay on campus per the district until 2:50, even on Wednesdays. So please leave them sufficient work, things to grade, maybe another class that they could help in at the end of the day if that's appropriate. But please make sure they're not coming up to the office looking for things to do. And also, please identify a buddy teacher for specific students, particularly our Tier 2 students. We'll create a shared doc with the office. So let us know what classroom they should go to if you have a sub. And then if we have that information, we can make sure they go where they need to go and that the sub's aware. For curriculum and instruction, just some general expectations similar to last year. Lesson plans need to be printed and placed on your desk. Last year I said they could be print or digital. The problem is I struggled to find them in multiple rooms. So please make sure they're printed and in a highly visible place. Remember, for your lesson plan expectations, minimally I'm looking for standard objective materials and an exit ticket, and I really am looking for implementation of what was discussed in collaboration. Please also send a brief letter introducing yourself to your parents. Include your classroom expectations and management plan, consequences and incentives with that letter, and then I'll need a copy of that letter/management plan as well. Remember, continue focusing on our objectives. Focus objectives for ELA and math should be posted. Those could be written on a whiteboard. They could be on a focus wall. That's your choice. Instructional minutes, similar to last year, we should have 150 minutes for K through 3 and 120 minutes for 4 through 6. That includes your small group rotations. Walk to Learn is an additional 30 minutes a day. ELD is an additional 30 minutes. Math should be 60 to 90 minutes every day. Please do not skip math. Science, if you have been trained, I'd like to see us start at least one lesson, 45 minutes once per week. It's also an area where you could use your co-teach lessons you developed last year. And then PE is 100 minutes per week, and you do have to record those. In regards to homework, we really emphasize focusing on independent reading and math fluency or spiral skills. Please make sure if it's given, it's something that students should be able to complete with a level of mastery. We don't want to send home 50 math problems that they just learned that day. We want to make sure it's something they can be successful in and do on their own. In the office, with attendance and tardies, we've had several issues with that, and we really want to focus on improving that this year. But we have 900 students to look at. So help us first. When you notice a trend with students coming in late consistently or being absent within a week, if you notice a trend, notify the parent and talk to them about the importance of having their child there. If that doesn't improve, talk to our assistant principal and we will work on setting up a meeting with the parents. We really want to get our kids here so they can learn. Also, all students will receive free breakfast and lunch this year. They don't have to do the free and reduced lunch form, but there is a community eligibility provision form that we have to have back. Our funding is based off the completion of those forms. For the first class in each grade level that completes that will have a popsicle party. Other reminders, evaluations this year, probationaries 2 times. One in the fall, one in early winter, and then our veteran teachers M through Z. I'll be setting up times to schedule those. I have a staff survey pushed out through Google Classroom. Please complete that by Friday just to let me know where you want to be involved. If you have issues with your classified support, paras, noon aides, II aides, please notify Mr. Brazier right away. We want everybody here pulling their weight and supporting you. For safety, we have some revised drill procedures. We'll have class lines labeled on the fence out on the field, and then we have some new procedures we'll be going over with you as well. Our Williams visit is August 26th. Please make sure you have a textbook for each student in every subject. They should be stacked on the student's desk the day of the inspection. The Williams visitors will ask the students if they can take the book home. They should say yes. And what they do if they have a missing book, and they should say, ask my teacher or librarian for a new one. Upcoming dates, please make sure that you look at our Google Calendar. That has most of the dates for the year on it. And then I also have a key dates handout for the first couple months of school that you'll get in our staff meeting. Remember our first day of school procedures, hold attendance until 9. Any students not on your roster should go straight up to the office. As usual, we have several students who will be overflowed. Please make sure they have materials and a space. We want to keep them as comfortable as possible because overflow is kind of a traumatic experience for them. Know that the process can take up to 4 weeks, but I'll do my best to expedite it. Make sure you send home the welcome folders. Students need to complete the library card, district acknowledgement, Castle handbook acknowledgement, green emergency card, and community eligibility provision form. We will distribute collection envelopes Monday once our classes have stabilized a little bit. TKK, make sure that we know which students ride the bus and what stop. During Meet the Teacher, we'll want to have parents fill that information in so that we can make labels for our kids and get them to the right place. That's all of my reminders. If you have any questions about these items, please come into my office and let me know. Other than that, thank you for listening.